Mateo Palacio Gomez, what is Charity Bay?
Thanks, Sam, for the invitation. Well, you know how most of the Australian households have unwanted items? Well, what Charity Bay does is provides a platform where every person can donate those items, and 95% of the proceeds go to charity, 5% goes to Charity Bay. We help the environment and we help those in need.
So where did that idea come from?
Well, it came over a year ago as we have been seeing how much and how many valuable items can be seen on the streets here in Melbourne, and they had rubbish. People that don't care about receiving any monetary benefit for an item that could have a second home. So we thought about giving some value to those items, giving a second home, and at the same time help the charities that need resources so desperately to help the community.
And are you working on this business with anyone else? Was it by yourself?
Yes. We are so lucky because we have close friends that help us, has been helping us in and out. In total, the main core have been a group of 6 that has helped us a lot. We started with Haidar Faluji as the founder and me as the co-founder. And now we are like 3 full-time plus some friends that help us with specific tasks.
So after you had this idea, so you're walking around the streets, you see lots of quality items in hard rubbish. With that initial concept and idea, what were the next steps into making Charity Bay a reality?
Well, we thought, okay, let's try it. Let's try our idea of having a marketplace where people can donate automatically to the charities, to put it that way. So we created a website, and there is something that I appreciate, and I think that is something like a skill that not everyone has, which is that Haidar, who started a bachelor in business, and studied also aviation. He just started watching some videos on internet on how to create a website and how even to create a mobile app. So he decided to just give it a go and do it himself, created a website, and that's when we started. He created a website, and from the moment on, we started like promoting that website. We found the problem we found that there was an actual problem there, or that we were solving that problem, and then from that we start kind of improving our solution or improving our website.
So you launched initially as a website, and then with a bit of market validation, market testing, that came, then it proceeded to updating the website, and there was a place for an app to be created. Is that how I hear it?
Yes, that is correct. Well, we launched the website. We saw how people were very interested on that, and as well as the charities, mainly the charities were very interested. So we decided to create a better website, something a little bit more clear and educational for each user, as well as creating the mobile app. So that was our next step on where we are at the moment.
And in terms of where you're at, in terms of traction, do you have like a large network of partners, users? Could you speak to that a little bit?
Yes, absolutely. It has been so interesting because at the beginning we were not sure if everyone was like, if many people were willing to help, but people loves to help. And by saying that, like even with the charities, we already have over 400 active charities that are going to our portal, putting information, talking to the users. We also have over 500 active users. By active users is people already subscribed, they are bidding or donating items or buying items or like participating somehow. We have over 1,000 visitors per day that go to our website and that like the idea of that. So it's about slowly growing, but we're very happy with the traction.
Yeah, no, that sounds like amazing progress. In that journey, have there been many learnings or roadblocks you've had to navigate? Could you just shed a bit of light in that regard?
Yes. It's always the entrepreneurial and the startup journey is so interesting and amazing. And yes, you see maybe like the final, like you see, okay, I want to get there, and you think there are just a couple of steps to get there, and no, it is thousand steps and thousands of obstacles to overcome. I would say that one of those is like to convince people to like something that is totally new. Like people like common like things they're already familiar with. So try to sell an idea of something new. It's one of the uh, roadblocks. The other one is also, I would say, to target the actual audience that will use your product. So kind of like understand much better the audience and understand much better the problem. Again, like the problem is something super important. What are you actually solving, and is this a real problem? Those were the main things maybe that we had to check and learn as we were growing.
And so is your audience primarily people wanting to buy or donate, or is your audience also the charities themselves?
Well, it's interesting because in the beginning we thought that it was going to be just people that didn't care about an item, and that just instead of throwing them on the street, they were going to donate it. But even though we have had some of those that audience, our core audience has been people that believe in the charities, people that have already a bond with the charities, and instead, like the donations that they do are quite good because our items are sometimes are valued over 200, 500, $800. Nice brand new speakers, Apple Watch, Fitbits, jewelry, pieces of jewelry, things that they really want to help the charity they connected with. So that is the major core of the audience, people who want to give back to the community.
And how has COVID affected that? I guess it's affected all levels of society, but how's that affected, I guess, that operational model of your business?
Well, it was quite of shocking on the beginning when all the restrictions started, because how we were operating was the buyer goes and collect the item from the donor, but then like from one day to the other, like overnight, it was already like, God, we cannot even operate because of the restrictions. Like everything kind of needed to stop. But then on that week, we talked with several companies of delivery, and we developed kind of an initial plan that started like 3 days after the restrictions started, which was a buyer can contact our delivery partner, which offers contactless delivery. Delivery goes and collect the item and bring it to the buyer. So that was the delivery was the first challenge. And the second thing also is the interaction within the team. Because, well, when you are starting, and especially as you don't have like a constant income nor a salary for the team, it's hard to encourage someone virtually rather than just you sitting next to the other one to encourage someone virtually. Well, we have somehow developed some kind of ideas to overcome those things.
How's the team been supported pre-COVID to the COVID period? Like, there are so many supports in the ecosystem across the city and across the state. What are some of the supports that have helped Charity Bay get to where it is today?
Well, there have been different supports, mainly on, let's say, on connection, on networking. Like right now, since we're growing, we need that promotion and leverage on that connection. And I would say that now that everything is virtual, it makes it much more easier to connect with people, to say, oh, do you have 15 minutes for a Zoom call? and talk to everyone else. In the past, it was not about a Zoom call. It was about, I can invite you for a coffee. Yeah, I don't have time, maybe later, blah, blah, blah. But this time is now, I think that the support from the community has been more on the way of advice and promotion of Charity Day.
And have you been part of any accelerator programs or incubators?
Yes, and thanks for asking, because that's one of the biggest things that has helped us on the growth. We are part of a program run by Catalyzer and YCAP. It started called as First Gen 2.0. Now we are on the stage of validate stage, which we have been selected as one of the top 24 of the program. So this program has been absolutely incredible. We have learned so much out of that. And on top of this program with Palacio and YCAP, we have had help on Melbourne Soup. Melbourne Soup has been one of our supporters. We were selected as one of the top 4 projects for the Melbourne Soup number 7. The city of Melbourne also helped us with a grant, which is delivered by Hacker Exchange for a program, also an accelerator program. Yeah, bits and pieces from the government, from accelerator programs, even from some charities that believe in what we're doing.
Yeah, it's just like a who's who's of some of the most amazing collaborators and like figures in our ecosystem and community. And just wrapping up, what are you looking forward to the most as we come into the second half of the year? What are your dreams?
Well, our dreams, like we stand, and our mission is to bring this change to Australia, where charities are seen differently and where every person, even without monetary resources, can help the community and the charity. So we look forward for growth. And by growth, I mean that we can increase the donations that are getting to each of those charities, so they can focus, instead of fundraising, focusing in taking care of their primary activity, which is helping the community, helping the children, helping the environment, helping the actions and the causes that they believe. So I think that for me, the second half of the year would be about getting that traction, to getting the growth and to amplify this all over Australia.
Great. Thanks so much for your time, Mateo. And we'll pop down some links so that people find out more about Charity Day. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for your time, and have a lovely Friday. Bye-bye.